Yeah, we may clip and clean those wounds. We'll get some meds going with him.
Alrighty.
So what'd you find?
What I find?
Yes, what did we find for Romeo?
What did we find for Romeo? So, Romeo, you want to come over here?
Yeah. Here, we go. Kind of slip this way.
It's pretty minimal. Well, I wouldn't say the pain is minimal, but there's multiple fractures in the pelvis. There's a fracture here, fracture here, fracture here, fracture here, fracture there. So it's very minimally compressed, and so I don't think repair in this case would be the best option because you have very little bone to work with, and it's not incredibly compressed. So I'd probably recommend cage rest, and especially with how thin he is, it's probably rather old. If I had to guess, it's got to be at least 2 weeks because he's lost, I'd say like 30% of his body weight.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So it took a while for it to get like that. Now I'm just looking through to make sure there's no other broken things. It's very minimal though.
He seems
Look, it
100%
looks almost-
fine in the front end.
Yeah.
Yeah, the bitey end is doing
The
well.
shoulders, the arms, there.
So he had those like wounds on his hips.
Mm-hmm.
He probably that was probably from road rash or the car that hit him.
Yeah.
And it's healed.
Okay. Yeah, they didn't look too bad from what I saw. So.
I'm surprised he can't stand and walk from that already.
Maybe it's a combination of having the injury and then getting weaker and losing muscle mass.
Yeah.
That, I mean, he doesn't have a lot of muscle to hold it all together when he stands up.
He could be bad on this one hip. If you look, there's something odd right here going on. So we'll probably have to resedate him in like 6 weeks. See what that looks like, see if there's something we can do. There's no obvious fracture, so I mean, I don't think it needs repair.
Can you tell like any closer of an age guess with looking at the bones?
Like a year.
Yeah.
Like just, I mean, his growth plates are like, they're like closed, but they're still kind of visible. So just barely. And it'll. We get front limbs?
No.
You might want to just take front limbs just in case.
He's so skinny. Can we give him a bath?
Yeah. Can we send him over to grooming before he gets back to the city stand?
He's a very stinky boy. You guys will be able to rewatch these at dailybigcat.com too if you came in and didn't hear Dr. Justin's talk through of the x-rays. They're going to do a few more x-rays.
Did you tell Jamie to let them know?
Yes, I did. I called him myself.
Yay. Okay, so they're gonna, so I guess at this point we're thinking we'll be taking him back, cage rest, try to get him some food and some weight. How much should he weigh at about a year?
At this age, probably 20 to 22 pounds. So 16 pounds is quite a bit.
Oh,
But I think he'll probably gain it back quick with his appetite that he has.
yeah, he's ferocious.
Glad he's eating.
Yeah, and this morning, since I couldn't give him food, I crushed up a bloodsicle, put it in a bowl, so he at least had something tasty and able.
But I agree with that. I think he keeps his legs under him well,
Mm-hmm.
which is good.
I was just like thrown off because of that one clip I showed you from the Nest Cam where his back feet come up off the ground because he
Puts all his weight on the front.
yeah, that's
Yeah, that. I mean, it makes me nervous. I guess just because of how much is broken in the pelvis, like maybe it just hurts that much.
and it
so
could be pinching nerves and stuff.
it shouldn't be pinching nerves, but he
Right.
could have had spinal trauma. And so I can't say he'll definitely come back to normal use, but I think it's worth a try since he's eating, and it doesn't look like he's constipated surprisingly. But maybe.
Oh, that's what I wanted to check. Is if
Yeah, I
there's-
don't think he looked constipated.
And he did, you said he peed a lot, and then
he just hasn't pooped yet.
yeah.
But he hasn't eaten. He's only
He
eaten
does
one
have
meal.
some staining on there, so another concern was he might be incontinent.
Okay. I think that could be stress related from,
When he got caught,
Yeah.
he got it on himself. Okay.
because when we caught him in the net, he peed on himself too. And we were all happy, look, he's peeing.
Yeah, that was a good thing. All right, guys. So yeah, this is a new Rehab Bobcat at Big Cat, and he's just getting some X-rays. You can watch him the very beginning and see what Dr. Justin says, or he might give another recap.
Like incontinent. Hey!
I need you to talk all over again.
Yeah,
Sorry.
it's okay. What we'll do is we can go in X-ray
Okay.
if you want. When
And
if you want.
can we just say where he was found, why he was brought
Yes.
to us, what the prognosis is, and then next steps?
Do you want to do some of it, or do you want no? Maybe where you found it and how you caught it.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah, that'd be cool.
and then I can do the
That was
stuff
a
I know.
fun story.
Good stuff.
Yeah. All right, everybody. So hang in there, and we'll get another full update on Romeo.
It's pretty minimal. Well, I wouldn't say it's very bad, but it's pretty.
It can be corrected.
It could be. Yeah, I wouldn't even fix it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'll show you.
No, this is not the same Bobcat that Carol went and set traps for.
It's wrong only a little bit in each one.
Which is more hopeful than we were thinking.
I think it's a growth plate. Yeah, he's got bigger poles, so he's young.
What else can we do with him while he's
I'm gonna give him some antibiotics, and
okay?
I might give him some
Fluids?
steroids. I might give him steroids.
Okay.
Just in case it might.
Can we flea treat him?
Yeah. Yeah. You want
So
some
we don't have to worry
Revolution?
about trying to give him some oral meds?
Yeah, Revolution. Why don't you bring him back and start clipping clean some wounds? Do you want to follow him? And then I'll do the talk, and then we'll.
Yeah, can we actually go out there with them and you down to him, and then we'll
Yeah.
come in here and do the prognosis
Sure.
with you?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Do you need X-ray? Right.
Yeah.
She needs X-ray.
Okay.
So in reverse.
If you want, come in here. I'll
Okay,
talk,
let's do
and
it.
then give them X-ray. Take them.
Okay.
I think they're gonna come by first.
Yeah. We're gonna steal the cat, and then we'll just have the X-ray.
All right, so we'll hang here and listen to Dr. Justin one more time, and then we'll follow Romeo.
Okay. You let me know when. Okay, so today we have Romeo, probably about a 1-year-old wild caught bobcat. It was found on the side of the road. And we did an exam today. There was nothing super obvious on exam other than some what looked like road rash from being hit by a car. And upon first look at the x-rays, there was nothing super obvious, but the pelvis is cracked in multiple places. There's at least 5 fractures, I say. One here, one here, one there, and some more right over there. But the pelvis didn't really shrink much this way, and because the cat's lost about 30+% of its body weight, if I had to guess, it's probably at least 2 weeks old.
Okay.
And so the cat's been hiding for a long period of time. It's already starting to heal on its own. And so at this point, I'd probably just cage rest the cat, give it appropriate pain medication, and manage it. Since it's eating and drinking and acting normal otherwise, we just kind of have to see how much strength he gains back. And I guess the biggest concern is going to be is going to be whether he can use those legs again. I think he may even have a little bit of a fracture up here, which could cause complications with nerve function. So he could have issues defecating, things like that, but nothing obvious at this point. We're going to kind of, he can keep his feet under him, so he has some control of his feet. So it may be just pain associated with the pelvis.
So So Dr. Justin Borstein, can we go see the cat?
Yes.
These ladies work for the Humane Society of Tampa Bay, and they are also doing film footage and a live on their Facebook as well. So that is why we're all taking turns to make sure we get the footage. And we'll see Romeo here in a moment.
Guy.
Could be a
Romeo.
And they want to share that if that's the case. We'll see what he says. The sacrum in the middle there looks a little funny.
So Dr. Justin Borstein, can you explain what everyone's doing here?
Right now we're just clipping and cleaning any wounds that we see. Just shave the fur around it and then scrub them up. They're older, so we won't close them, but we'll just clean them up while we have the cat here. And that way, when the cat's in the enclosure, we can see the wounds much better.
So, what are the next steps for this guy?
That might be more of a Jamie. She'll probably be made pink.
Jamie.
He'll be going back to Bobcat Rescue where he'll have cage rest, where he's kept in a smaller cage to allow his bones to heal. He'll go to our Bobcat Rehab Hospital, which is separate from the sanctuary. That's where we keep the native species that are rehabilitating. Probably 6 to 8 weeks we do follow-up x-rays and see how those fractures are healing.
And I'll probably share the x-rays with a neurologist that I deal with quite often to see it. There might be a fracture of the spine, and if that's the case, I'm curious to see if you want to stabilize it or so could be an MRI in the future of this cat, but we'll kind of wait and see.
Awesome. Well, I'm so glad that you could help him today.
Now we just got to put a little weight back on.
Yeah.
How much does he weigh now?
16 pounds.
And how much should he weigh?
Probably closer to 25. 20,
Okay.
25.
He's quite a...
Yes.
Thanks to everybody helping answer questions.
We will provide you with an update on this guy when we have one. And thanks for watching.
I think he had one on his other side on his hip.
Okay.
0.72.
Yeah, so he was a bobcat call that came in yesterday in a very residential area. Jamie and Victor and myself and Lauren B. all went on that call, and when we got there, he was laying in the bushes in front of a house next door to the people that had called us.
Do you want to shave it back? Yeah, I would, because I've only seen him clean like the front. Okay.
So we're just cleaning up. He's got some wounds that look like maybe road rash. They're healing, but we want to be able to keep an eye on them. He's very feisty. I did shoot video once we got him netted yesterday that we'll probably share with you guys. We let him just calm down overnight, knowing we were going to bring him here today. Of course. So we think he might be about a year old. He's very underweight.
I can't imagine in 5-10 days.
Yeah, but I don't know, like, because they eat like so frequently.
Maybe with parasite load or something.
No. So at this point, if you want to support Romeo, you can always support our Bobcat Rehab program. can do that at bigcatrescue.biz or learn more at bigcatrescue.org/bobcat-rehab. He's going to get a flea treatment here, and they're just cleaning his wounds right now.
What is the, do you have like a 16?
Well, we use them for feral cats.
Yeah.
Where's Tiger's,
Like, is there a weight for that high?
Where? Yeah.
Thank you guys for all the donations and for answering in the comments for me. There are a lot of people in here, and I'm trying to not be yet another voice. Of course. He's very, very feisty. It took 3 people to net him while I ran around like crazy grabbing gloves and carriers and blankets and
Yeah, I think next time I would go to Gilchrist, which is right down the street, because they only have like 15, 20 sites, whereas Ginny has like 200.
Yeah. And it's probably cheaper too.
Yeah, it's a state park, whereas the other's private.
So we've actually had 2 bobcat calls in the last week. Carol was the one that responded to the first one, but we set traps and haven't heard anything about that one. This is one that came in yesterday, and he was in the Riverview area in a residential neighborhood. So thank you guys, everybody who's donating. We'll try to keep you in the loop. He'll be going into the rehab hospital where Flint used to be. We'll be setting him up in there for a lot of cage rest. He's very feisty. He ate about a pound of food throughout yesterday evening. He is getting a bath, sponge bath. He's very stinky. And no question that he's a boy.
Yeah.
We decided on Romeo for a few reasons, but with Valentine's Day being the next holiday coming, we felt that might be appropriate. Our hope is that he would be rehabbed and released, but we're going to take it a day at a time. So there was a part 1 when we first brought him out of the enclosure and told you a little bit about him, and then we got a little explanation from Dr. Justin, and then part 2, if you watch this one from the beginning, you'll get a good explanation of his injuries.
Touch me. That's where it is. Okay. I'll look it up. I got this one. Yeah. Right. And when we were up there, I was looking at this map of all the other springs and parks. Just curious. Yeah.
I guess I haven't really shown you guys his face yet, so that's about as good as we're gonna get right now. So he will definitely be on some medications and lots of cage rest.
Yes.
The last time I went, they had a new spot. There's like 2 guys on the road rampart.
Yeah, of course we want him to gain weight, but we also want him to heal, and we don't want him to be too big on broken pelvis, so. Of course.
You want me to,
Do you have to go on some views?
rabies?
Yeah, okay, yeah.
What kind of surgery?
None, he's just having
So he's getting flea treated and the rabies vaccine. Most likely, yeah, he'll have a parasite load. So we'll be doing definitely some dewormings. And most likely in 6 to 8 weeks, he'll be re-examined. So thank you all again for all your donations. I don't know if he'll have cameras yet. Well, of course, we'll let you guys know if that's something that'll be public or not. It might just be for the rehab team at this point.
You got,
I didn't give him any pain meds this morning.
yeah, I'll give you some. I'll give you some.
Did this one also get on my picture? Correct.
That's rabies.
So thank you for showing me.
So yeah, I guess the only other thing is gonna be doesn't have spinal.
Bobcat. Oh,
See what?
extra mean. That's just how
We're giving them something.
With convenience, 0.72 revolution, 0.25, and the 200 mils of subcutaneous saturated rabies. And a bath.
And a sponge bath.
And a bath. I mean, if you want to keep it fit, you also need
Alright guys, well I'm going to shut down this feed, so if you guys want to rewatch, go to dailybigcat.com, or it'll post right on here on our page, and you can hear Dr. Justin explain the x-rays. So thank you guys for all the donations, and we'll keep you updated along the way.